You're the person who always answers the text right away, the one who will drop everything to help a friend. You make yourself available because you believe it's what a good, dependable person does. And yet, you have that sinking feeling that you're being taken for granted. And you're right. There's a hidden psychological reason your constant availability is actually lowering your value in the eyes of others. So let's talk about what that is and how you can change it, starting today. And if you feel like you're constantly giving more than you get back, make sure you subscribe. This channel is all about helping you reclaim your power and build unbreakable self-respect. Let's see if this picture feels familiar. A text comes in, and you see it immediately. You're tired. You're in the middle of something important, but you reply instantly. You don't want to seem rude. A friend needs a last-minute favor that completely torpedoes your plans, but you say yes without a second thought. At work, you're the go-to person for every emergency, answering emails late into the evening just to be seen as a team player. You do these things because you have a good heart. You've been taught that being reliable and accessible is a virtue. But what's the result? The texts you answer in seconds get replies hours, or even days later. The friend you bent over backwards for barely musters a thank you. And at work, the more you do, the more is expected, until you're drowning in tasks that aren't even your job. You feel drained, resentful, and completely invisible. Without realizing it, you've trained everyone in your life to see your time and energy as an infinite, on-demand resource. You've become predictable, convenient. And in the brutal calculus of human psychology, convenient is the opposite of valuable. You feel trapped, as if being a good person is somehow leading to you being treated poorly. You think your availability proves you care, but it's actually teaching people that your time doesn't matter. So what is actually going on here? Why does being so dependable backfire so spectacularly? It's not because people are evil. It's because of deep-seated psychological triggers that we all run on, mostly unconsciously. The first and most powerful principle is scarcity. As humans, we are just wired to value what is rare. Think about it. Diamonds aren't valuable because they're useful, they're valuable because they're scarce. A designer brand that's always on sale loses its prestige. The exact same rule applies to your time and attention. When you're always available, you send a clear signal that your time isn't a scarce resource. You make your presence feel common, not like a gift. This isn't about playing games. It's a fundamental feature of how we perceive value. The second mechanism at play is called intermittent reinforcement. First studied by psychologist B.F. Skinner. This is the principle that rewards given sporadically and unpredictably are far more addictive than rewards given consistently. It's the entire engine behind a slot machine. It's the possibility of a win that keeps people pulling the lever, not the guarantee of one. In relationships, this is the psychological force behind the hot and cold dynamic. When someone gives you attention inconsistently, it creates a powerful craving. That unpredictability triggers a dopamine rush in your brain, making you obsessed with getting the next hit of their affection. When you are always available, you are providing continuous reinforcement. There is no mystery, no anticipation, no chase. Your response is guaranteed. Because of this, the emotional reward for the other person flatlines. They don't get that dopamine hit, so they unconsciously devalue the interaction. The tragic irony is that the more reliable you are, the less exciting your presence becomes. And finally, this whole pattern is often powered by a deep-seated fear of being forgotten or abandoned. You might be operating from a subconscious belief that your worth is tied directly to your usefulness. This programming often starts in childhood, where you learned that love was something you had to earn by being compliant and ever-present. Now you're an adult running on that old software, convinced that if you stop being available, you'll stop being valuable. But the truth is the exact opposite. So how do you break this cycle without becoming cold or manipulative? The answer isn't to start playing games. It's to fundamentally upgrade your internal operating system. And one of the most powerful toolkits for this comes from the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, a practical guide to mastering yourself. First, embrace the Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control. As the philosopher Epictetus taught, some things are up to us, and some are not. You cannot control if someone appreciates you or if they text you back, but you can control your own actions and your own boundaries. Stop trying to manage their perception of you and start managing your own behavior. Their reaction is not your circus and not your monkeys. This leads directly to the second practice, setting boundaries as an act of self-respect. A boundary isn't a threat you make to others. It's a clear decision you make for yourself. This looks like practicing the pause. You don't have to reply to a text the second you see it. Waiting an hour, or even until you're mentally ready, isn't a game. It's proof to yourself that the world doesn't fall apart if you aren't instantly reachable. Learning to say no with grace. When a request will drain you or violates your priorities, you can decline without a 5-page explanation. A simple, "I'm sorry, but I won't be able to do that," is a complete sentence. As the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Scheduling your own time. Turn off your notifications. Decide when you'll check email. Block out do not disturb time in your calendar for yourself. This isn't selfish, it's survival. The final principle is selective presence. Your time and attention are your most valuable, non-renewable assets. So, be intentional about where you invest them. This isn't about being unavailable, it's about being selectively available for the people and projects that truly matter to you. You begin to understand that your presence is a gift, not a given. When you do choose to give someone your full, undivided attention, it means more because it's a conscious choice, not an automatic reflex. When you stop being constantly available, something profound happens. You stop being a convenience and start becoming a priority. You stop attracting people who want to use you and start attracting people who genuinely respect you. This isn't about manipulation. It's about demonstrating self-respect. People will treat you the way you teach them to treat you. By setting firm boundaries, you're teaching them that your time is valuable, your energy is finite, and your presence is something to be earned, not expected. If this message hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And for more on building real confidence, be sure to hit that subscribe button. For years, you've believed that your value lies in how available you are, only to find yourself feeling invisible. The change begins the moment you realize the truth. Your over-availability wasn't generosity. It was a form of self-abandonment. The path to being valued by others starts with valuing yourself. It begins when you decide that your peace is more important than their instant gratification. It's built every single time you say no to something that drains you, so you can say yes to yourself. By doing this, you don't just change how others see you, you change how you see yourself. You stop being a background character in everyone else's story and finally become the author of your own. Remember this, your presence is a gift, not a given. Treat it that way, and the world will have no choice but to do the same.